Welcome back to another Pokemon What If Wednesday, where every Wednesday morning we go through last week's investing and collecting questions, where your guys' questions will actually be featured in the video, and one person's question will help me make the thumbnail every single week. So please drop your questions down below for a chance to be in next week's video, and if I did comment you saying great question and might use this and I didn't, please drop that same question again and put repeat question. It'll get moved to the top. And I'm not saying I'm some guru who just knows everything, but when I'm unsure, I always like to talk it out with a few people. It always helps me make my final decision, and I have been in the hobby for almost 30 years, so I've been here forever. And before we get started, we do have to give a quick thanks to our video sponsor, and that is COLLECTR. This app is the best of the best when it comes to tracking your collection. No other app even compares. I've tried every single one of them, and they're always trying to improve too by adding new cards, boxes, and features. So let us know down below if there's anything you want them to add or fix, and they'll get working on that immediately. And then they also do more giveaways than anyone in this entire hobby. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. And if you guys want to try out PSA for your first time, click the link, use the code BEARD25, get $25 off your first submission. And same with tag. Use the code BEARD102, get 10% off your first submission. And I need you guys to do me a massive favor and download the FANATICS live app and go to Collect Originals and find my channel, Pokebeard, and give me a follow there. I'll be live premiering my Market Monday and my Falling Friday hours before I post it on YouTube, and I'll be live in the chat. And this Thursday at 7 p.m. when I drop my Falling Friday, I'll be in the chat giving away a Greninja Gold Star. You just have to be following the channel and be commenting in the chat, and I'm going to pick it directly from the chat. So it should be a super fun time, and I'd really appreciate that. I'll have all the links in the description. But all right, first question. This is from Johnny Pickleball. With the summer slump, how do you not panic sell everything? So I've been here forever. I don't sell anything from my collection basically ever. And even when I vend, if I buy something that I don't have that I want for a collection, I just keep it. So basically every single thing that I sell when I'm vending, it's just doubles or triples. But yeah, if I really needed money, then I would definitely think about selling some stuff. But again, it would only be stuff that I have like doubles or triples of, which I do basically for every single thing that I collect, just for that reason. And, you know, in case there is an emergency or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm not too worried. We have a summer slump every single year. People disagree with me every time. But yeah, we have one every single summer. And it's honestly not too bad with this market. Like we had a Falling Friday 2 weeks ago where we actually had a good amount of booster boxes and ETBs that were going down in price. The very next week, every single one of them, besides like two, started to go back up in price. So with the market being the way it is, they're not even going to let stuff drop in price right now. Even if you go look at any auction on like a bigger card right now, like any PSA 10 low pop card, there is so many fake bids. Like people are just creating accounts to drive the prices up other cards because this whole low pop thing, you know, you buy a card for $3,500, it's a low pop, it's now worth $5,000 when you go try and sell it. Like it's just crazy. And everybody's just like going nuts with these prices. So the market is just insane right now. But the reason we have summer slumps is just people are a lot busier in the summer. They're spending a lot of money on other things, traveling, doing vacations. That's the only reason why we really have a summer slump. And as soon as the summer is over, people are going to be chilling in their houses again and wanting to collect more Pokemon cards. But the only way I would actually be worried right now is if we didn't have anything good to look forward to in the future. But we do have the 30th anniversary, which they just revealed the products and they look amazing. Super good promos. And then we also have the Rayquaza set coming up too. So I am not worried one bit, even though everything is at its all-time high. Like I said, it really depends on what we have coming in the future. So let's say after the Rayquaza set, we don't really have anything to look forward to and we got Gen 10 coming. That would probably be a time where, you know, if stuff starts dropping, it could definitely drop pretty quick. But knowing Pokemon, I have a feeling they're not even going to let that happen this time. And I have a feeling with Gen 10, they're not going to go all in with Gen 10 like they did with Gen 9. I have a feeling they're going to have like a good mix of Pokemon for all the sets. So there's just chases for everybody. That's my guess. You never know. They could go all out for Gen 10 and it could definitely crash the market again just like it did with Gen 9. But yeah, no joke. Everybody always hates all the newest Pokemon when the new generation drops because they love their older Pokemon. But that's why I always recommend too, when you buy the new game, like for Gen 10, I strongly recommend just collecting Generation 10 Pokemon. I promise by the end of the game, you will appreciate at least 5 of them and you'll actually have some favorites from the new generation. And if you think, you know, new generations can't have good Pokemon, go look and see what generation Mimikyu is from. And Mimikyu is one of the most popular Pokemon in the world right now. So we can definitely get some solid Pokemon in some of these newer generations. But yeah, I'm just so curious to see what Pokemon does after the 30th and the Rayquaza set. I have a feeling they have something cooking. I think they already trademarked like a new Team Rocket set or product. So that'd be crazy if we did get another Team Rocket set. That would definitely keep the hype going. But yeah, I would not worry if you absolutely needed money. Then, of course, this is a solid time to sell because everything is basically at its all-time high, and the stuff that has dropped really hasn't dropped too much yet. But all right, next question is from Sean Stearns. What is your opinion on the Mimikyu Delta Species promo from Celebrations? So I like it. It is a Delta Species card. I'm a big fan of Delta Species, and we were just talking about Mimikyu. The card is kind of difficult to grade in a 10. It's got 2,300 10s, 4,200 9s. It was at $190 January 2026 in a 10. Shot up to 500, dropped back down to 270, and now sitting right around $350 to $400. In raw, it's like a $15 card. I can see it getting a little higher. I could see this being a $500 PSA 10 card and maybe like a $25 raw card, but I can't see it getting like too much crazier after that. Next is from Mr. Collects. What do you think of the Gastly illustration rare from Temporal Forces? Do you think it will pass 1,000 USD in a PSA 10? I think it has really good potential too. And I'm actually collecting cards like this where you have the entire evolution line in one card. I'm collecting them in PSA 10. And it's actually a little difficult to grade. 5,300 10s, 8,800 9s. That sold on eBay 720, and we got a new sale at $850. So yeah, I have a feeling this will reach right around $1,000, maybe a little bit more, especially with how hot Gengar is right now. Especially with there being multiple Gengars in this card. It's just insane. Next is from a member at Andrew95650. Hey Bugbeard, my wife and I absolutely love the Blissey V Trainer Gallery TG22 from Silver Tempest. The U Iribi artwork looks stunning in hand, especially in a PSA 10. The raw card is cheap, but the PSA 10 premium is already strong because people just aren't grading trainer galleries at high values compared to standard alt arts. Do you think a Gem Mint 10 copy is a massive sleeper hold right now? Feels like a ticking time bomb for investing. So let's check that out. Here's the Blissey V. There's 1,367 10s, 541 9s, and it looks like it's starting to level out a little bit right now. Last sold in a 10 is only $90, so not too expensive in a 10. I do love the art. I like when it's super realistic looking, clean art. But yeah, for $95 and it only being, 1,400 of these in a PSA 10, not too bad of a price in my opinion. And let's say this card does get hot and a lot of people send in their Blissey V, but at $80 a card to get it graded, no one's going to be sending this card in anytime soon. So it's going to have a somewhat low pop. So yeah, not too bad. Next is from Kalel. Hey Beard, even with some bio shenanigans, the Phantasmal Flames Meowth is only around $30 while the Perfect Order Meowth is around $200. I think the Phantasmal Flames Meowth looks so much nicer. Thoughts on the art of these cards? I could see them more or less trading places in pricing. So the Meowth from Perfect Order is a special illustration rare, so it is technically, more difficult to pull than an illustration rare. Plus, Phantasmal Flames is a very small set. Perfect Order is also pretty small too. But I agree with you. I do think the Meowth from Phantasmal Flames, probably one of the best illustration rares we have right now, especially because it's, got a scene directly from the game. So it is just so cool. But it is dropping. Was that 33? Now right around $21. And the Meowth from Perfect Order is also dropping. Was that 200? Now right around 160. So I don't think they're going to trade spots or anything like that, because like I said, it's a special illustration rare. And honestly, the chase of the set. But I could see this Meowth illustration rare bouncing back and getting to be like a $40, $50, or $60 card, to be honest, because I genuinely feel like it is one of the best illustration rares. Next is from Mario Cerna. Hey Beard, what's your take on trading Destined Rivals Pokemon Center towards a Mega Charizard X or Mega Dragonite EX? So I don't like trading sealed for cards, but I feel like I'd be okay with the Mega Charizard X. Probably wouldn't do the Mega Dragonite. I could see the Dragonite dropping a decent amount, but the Charizard is crazy. So yeah, I'd definitely be okay with that, especially if it is a card that's a little out of your price range and you don't think you're ever going to have enough money to buy it at that time. It would definitely be okay, to trade something like that for it. Next is from Trev DeRich. Should we expect another shiny set shortly after the 30th? It's been a while. If and when it happens, I'm really hoping they do a shiny Gyarados SAR. What are some shiny Pokemon you could or want to see Pokemon do? So actually one of my favorite shinies is for Alligator's entire line. Ursaring also has a super cool shiny. Celebi has a super cool shiny. So there's a ton of Pokemon I would love to see. I really, really hope though they do more shiny illustration rares and special illustration rares like they did with Paldean Fates, but we only got 3 of each. I'd like to bump that up a little bit, maybe 6 of each. I'd be pretty happy with, or 9 of each would be crazy. I would absolutely love that. But I don't think we're going to get a shiny set for the Mega era. I think that'd be kind of crazy if we did. It'd probably go super hard if we did. But it'll probably be, with Gen 10. The next question is from Maximum Effort. Hey Beard Master, just found your channel recently after just getting back into collecting after over 20 years of being away. With that said, one of the things that I want to add to my small collection, which is something that I've wanted ever since I was a kid, is a holo Charizard card with the OG Arita art. I know that there are several reprints of the artwork out there, and I'm not picky about a specific one. With the 30th anniversary reprint coming, do you think that I should buy one now? Or do you think that I should wait until the 30th anniversary set comes out to get one at a cheaper price for one? Love the content and what you do. So we are getting another Charizard reprint for the 30th anniversary. Let's hope it's not going to be too expensive. But I mean, the Celebrations reprint isn't that crazy. You can maybe swing that one. And I do have a feeling that one will keep going up in price until we get our 30th. So you could do that. I personally would probably wait for the 30th and just try to get that Charizard. Because you never know, you might find some packs you could open up, you could pull it. The pull rates aren't going to be too difficult. So I'm hoping the Charizard's not going to be that expensive. Especially we've had so many reprints. But you should also honestly check base set 2 Charizard. They're not that expensive. And then that way you're getting something, you know, when you actually collect it as a kit instead of just a reprint. So that's what I like to do. But let's just hope the new 30th anniversary Charizard is a little bit cheaper. I think it's going to have gold borders. So I do think it will look even cooler than the 25th anniversary. But yeah, you never know. Next is from Andy Farm D74. Remember, hey Beard, this is a 2-part question. My first question begins with the statement that I own the market with a Pop 1 CGC Perfect 10 Neo Genesis Quagsire, my favorite Pokemon. While that goofy looking fella is my favorite of all the Mons, everything in this hobby comes with a price tag. Where would you start in determining the value of a Pop 1 card when looking to sell? With all the hype and low pops right now, it may be the time to cash in on this grail of mine. So when you have a Pop 1, it's pretty difficult, but all you really have to do is just look at all cards that are similar, all those, you know, Neo Holo cards, and try to find PSA 10 sales, CGC 10 sales, you know, BGS 10, just try to get all the info you can. And then also look at a little bit older sales and kind of see how much these cards are starting to go up in price. You know, if every new sale is almost doubled or whatever it is for like PSA 10, you know, you got to take that into consideration. But having a Pop 1, you know, CGC Pristine 10, you can kind of set your own price. Or like I said, just try to find anything else similar. You know, maybe another CGC, Pop 1, Neo Holo, anything like that. Or even like a BGS, you know, Black Label. If you do find one, it's not going to sell as much as a Black Label, but still. And since it is a Pop 1, you basically decide how much you want to sell it for. So you can throw it up on eBay, you know, get all the info, and let's say you think it's going to sell for around 15 grand. You can honestly put it up there for 20 grand and put or best offer and kind of see what people are offering you and stuff like that, just so you don't miss out on any money, because there could be a couple people who really want that card. So it's kind of difficult having a Pop 1. It's kind of scary. You do not want to undersell. But the good thing is if you overprice it, you can always lower the price. You know, that's not a big deal. And also with Pop 1s, you might want to consider a consignment service like Arizona TCG or Z&G Emporium or anything like that, because they just get so many more eyes on that card to where, you know, you could definitely get a little bit more money. I really appreciate that, but I don't really stream. The closest thing I do to streaming is that FANATICS live app now, so if you could download that and give me a follow there, I'd really appreciate that. But if you're talking about like my vending content, I do have an entire playlist on my YouTube with all of my vending content. And then too, if you follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, basically all I post on there is, you know, clips from my vending content. So you can follow me on all those. I'd really appreciate that. I'll have all the links in the description. All right, next is from Arth PLK. Hello, Mr. Beard. Now tag is coming to Brazil. How you see it looking as investor and collector for both Brazilians and non-Brazilian collectors? So it's just going to help tag. I mean, the more places, you know, people can grade with them, the more cards there's going to be around the world, and the more cards there's going to be on eBay in the market. So I think it's just going to help all the tag collectors just have more options. Next is from Francis Communist Cell. Probably butchered that one too. Hi Beard, I'd like to add a question for your video. Why do Mankey, Primeape, Krabby, and Kingler get no IR, SIR cards despite being 151 Pokemon? So I would love a Mankey and Primeape card for sure, but we're actually missing a ton of 151 Pokemon still. I've been waiting for a Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee illustration rare, a special illustration rare. It's just been driving me nuts. And same thing with Jatini. I really, really want a Jatini card. But I would assume eventually they'll get thrown into some random set. So you just got to be patient. But I'm the same way. I love Mankey. I'm actually going to get a life-size Mankey statue made. Next is from Ethan B. Hey, Pokebeard, I'm trying to finish up my master set of Crown Zenith and just have a few random cards left for it, but the big one is the Gold Giratina V-Star. Do you think that card is actually a $400 card, or do you think it will cool off? Like to avoid overpaying if possible on a hard card like this. So at $400, that is quite a bit for that card. It is a super beautiful card, but Crown Zenith has like the easiest pull rates ever. So that card isn't technically like super difficult to pull. I could definitely see that card retracing back down to $350 or $300. But with this crazy market, there is a very small chance that that card gets to $500 or $600. But I have a feeling it's more likely for it to drop back down to $350 and $300, kind of find its new spot, instead of just keep going up and up and up. Next is from DMMC8VB. Hey Beard, would you start selling booster bundles and moving the funds into PC ETB/booster boxes, all purchased at retail price, so I'm into it at fairly low price, would have around 970 to 1200 in value if I was to sell. So, you could definitely do that with some of them, maybe get a few Pokemon Center ETBs. You don't need to get rid of all your booster bundles because booster bundles are great products. They don't take up a ton of space. But if you have some booster bundles from not so popular sets, you could definitely sell those and invest into like a really good set Pokemon Center ETB or booster box. So that we got a little bit of variety too. But right, next is from @Galactic Crabbit Collectibles. Love the content and have a question unrelated to Pokemon for once. I'm getting into collecting graded comics as well as Pokemon, and I'm having a blast. I recently picked up an ASM 54 from 1967 in 9.8. Only has a 16 pop and wanted to know how to comp it. Last sale I could find was in September of 2025 for 4,800, but not sure how to calculate appreciation in the comic space. So same question as like what we did before with that guy's Pop 1. You just have to find books that are similar to that and see what they're selling for. And, also look to what they sold for, back in September of 2025. So it's good to see like how much stuff is appreciating now. But yeah, that's all you can really do besides just waiting for a new sale of that exact same book and grade, or maybe one a little bit lower, like a 9.7 or a 9.6, just so you kind of have an idea on like what to ask for. But again, always, just put it over of what you really think it is, put best offer and kind of see what people are offering to. And last on the list is from @Charizard Prime. I've seen some movement in the Primes, Level X, and Legend market. Do you feel like it is now or never for that era? With everything going up so much, I worry that this might be the last time to get things at a reasonable price unless they really cool off. The pops are so low on PSA 10, so I feel like 9s and 8s would be the best option. I think those cards are great pickups right now. They are definitely starting to move, but we're getting even another Legend card for the 30th anniversary. That's going to make those cards go up. So, and then another big thing too, we could get Primes in the future. We could get Level X cards again. Like we can get Legend cards again. We even got a new trainer card where it actually has 2 of them, just like the Legend cards. So we can get this stuff again, and it can make those cards go even higher. But all right, that was this week's Pokemon What If Wednesday. And remember, do not forget to follow me on the Fanatics Live app. And I will see you in the chat Thursday at 7 p.m. for this Greninja Gold Star. Then, of course, if you guys like this content, want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If you guys want to support more, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Fanatics, all that, you guys know what to do. You guys are the absolute best. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys could do me a massive favor and watch my newest vending video, it's a super good one. I let a random fan vend with me for a couple hours. We were sitting there chit-chatting. I even have a super hot take about Game of Thrones in that video. And also, one of the best questions of the day I put in that video, it was Godzilla versus Charizard, Metal Greymon, and Blue Eyes White Dragon, 3 versus 1. So go to that video and put your answer down below. Then, of course, if you guys want to watch my other vending videos, I have an entire playlist above. But all right, we'll see you next time.